and welcome to the stage, Mr. Dean Graziosi.
Well, first off, did Russell and his team put on an amazing event or what? Oh my God. Love your energy. Been watching you guys for a day and a half now. Really amazing. So today, I want to share something that I think is be the most impactful thing I can. Russell and his entire team, I've watched their growth since day one. I admire what they're doing. I love how they care. And I came here to serve. I came here to deliver what I believe is the number one thing, with the more I analyze it, number one thing that's allowed me to stay relevant on video for 20 years. I did my first show 21 years ago, and I'm still here. So thank you. And so today, what I want to do is I want to share what I think is the ultimate unfair advantage. You guys up for learning that? You guys up for learning that? All right, that's what I like. But first, let me just ask this. Raise your hand and keep it up if you are finally ready and you're starting your business this year. Raise your hand if you're starting this year. Leave your hand up. Leave your hand up for a second. Raise your hand if you have a business, it's making pretty good money, decent money, but you know there's another level. Now raise your hand if you're crushing it. All right. The reason I ask that is because wherever you are today, I'm going to ask you to listen, maybe like you've never listened before. There's some stuff I might say that you've heard before, some stuff that's gone by, but I want you to know, I know what it's like to have envy of other people starting their own business and it's not working. I know what it's like to wish for more. I didn't go past high school, and I have my own story, we all have, didn't have money as a kid. And I also know what it's like, though, to have my first sale. I know what it was like to hit 100 grand a year, 100 grand a month, 100 grand a day, 300 grand a day. I've been through every phase. I've also been almost there when I got my business to about $10 million a year. I almost lost it all and had the sick stomach and the ulcer and wondering if I could ever get it back. And did I have the energy? Did I have the money? Did I have the time to get it back? So I share that only because I want you to know wherever you are, I've been there. But I also know what it's like to be a multiple New York Times bestselling author. I know what it's like to meet my heroes and impact millions of lives. And 2 years ago, my brands and my company passed $1 billion in sales. So, thank you. But I don't say that just to like position or posture. I'm saying that because the stuff I'm sharing today, it's not coming from hearsay or what I think is a good idea or because I had a couple successful campaigns. It comes from years of figuring this out. And plus, I started a $100,000 a year mastermind with my buddy Joe Polish. And then Tony Robbins and I are launching one in 2 months, a $250,000 a year mastermind. In fact, Russell cut the first check. How cool is that? So he's not somebody who just teaches, he's an obsessive learner. So you guys are in such good hands. But I say that because what happens when someone pays you 250 grand to be in a room with you? You better know how to share what you do. Add up to how much they're paying per minute. It's a lot of money, right? So what it's done is allowed me to obsess and break down what works and what doesn't. That's what I want to share today. One thing, though, that my team dug up. This is going to make everybody feel better. Let me get to the slide. I think it's this one. Okay, can you pull that up? This is going to make you all feel better. This is the first, I didn't even know my team had it. This is the first time in my life I was ever on video. It was my infomercial that I shot in 1998. So let me rephrase a little bit. I walked outside to go on camera in front of the house I had built. I went completely cottonmouth. I couldn't say 2 words. I ran inside and did a shot of tequila, thinking that that would loosen me up, and all it did is made me a little dizzy and still screwed up. So not only do I have a horrible, horrific New York accent, I have the worst pleated khaki pants that existed on the planet. But here we go. This is the first time ever on camera in 1998.
Watch my show, and I'm going to show you how I drove this incredible car for 6 months and profited $5,000 worth of spendable cash. I'm going to show you how I drove this car for 4 months and profited another $4,000 worth of spendable cash. My secrets in Motor Millions will even show you how to get started with no money. And I'm going to show you how to start even if you know nothing about cars.
Yep, that was me. I say that so everybody in here can feel a lot better about you being on video. Now, what I'm going to share today, it doesn't matter if you're shooting an ad, you're shooting a sales pitch, you're writing copy, it applies to all of it. Of course, video is my method of choice. Who in here has seen any of my ads? Anybody not see them? I've got to make sure I follow you. But I want to start, before I get into what I believe is this total unfair advantage, I want to share the one thing that I believe changes everything. And when I share it, you're going to say, you're going to know you heard it before, but I want you to hear it again for the first time ever. Is people will always ask me, how'd you go so good on camera? What is your secret sauce? What page you're using? What's the opt-in? When does it come up? How long is your video? That's probably the number one question I get. What's the length of your best videos? I get all these questions, and it really boils down to this. Love what you do so much that you feel it's a disservice if you don't get someone's credit card. You've heard that before, but the reason I obsess, the reason probably 99% of you have seen my ads for Millionaire Success Habits. By the way, we just passed 500,000 copies just on social media alone. How cool is that? But the reason you see so many ads, and the reason I'm obsessive and next level a maniac when it comes to doing it, is because I know I am screwing people over if I don't get my book in their hands. Because I know the impact. When you guys get the chance to read that book, if you haven't already, you'll know what I'm talking about. I can't help someone. I can't have them overcome their fear. I can't help them get wealthier or happier or have more abundance if I don't get my book in their hands. So I will do everything in my power to make sure they get it. I'm obsessed with it. And if you hesitate on selling, if you have a tiny bit of apprehension of selling, that means you don't love what you do enough. Because if you don't get in front of them, if you don't get someone to take action, if you don't obsess on marketing and sales, which is the oxygen of every successful business in the world, if you don't obsess on that, they look at you as another video, another thing in this sea of everybody wearing the same color shirts. You just look like another person. There's also videos, and we'll talk about it today, that are entertaining. They're fun to listen to, but at the end, someone doesn't take action. And I'm going to break down how that works today. But I want you to think about this. Let me ask you this. Who in here, and I want to hear, Russell's in the back, let him hear it. Who in here is happy that Russell took your money and you're here today? Okay. Russell is another one who's obsessed and knows, what he just launched, as he was talking about it, I'm like, my team needs that immediately. Russell obsesses on impacting your life. So Russell will shoot video after video. He'll film while he's on vacation with his wife at Disney, which I'm sure she hates. But he does all of that. Why? Because he feels he's doing a disservice to you if he doesn't get your credit card. He can't help you. I want to give you this framing of loving to sell on another level. Not just saying it's a part of my business. It is your business. It is everything. That Kevin Costner movie, when he was, remember the Kevin Costner movie, Field of Dreams? The whole concept of the movie was, if you build it, they will come. That's how people feel so much with their businesses. If I make it strong enough, if I write the good enough book, if I can impact the world, if my coaching is the best, if my product is the best, they will come. Guess what? They will never come. It's a delusion people have. Every once in a blue moon, there's something that goes viral on its own. That's 1 out of 1 million. Every other company you see has got a marketing machine kicking behind the scenes. Think about it. Was Mother Teresa a saleswoman? Was Martin Luther King a salesman? Hell yes. There was amazing nuns that wanted to help people. The civil rights movement had lots of great leaders. But why'd they stick out? Because they were too bad salespeople. So selling is the fuel. It's the oxygen for your next level. All right, so now I want to share what I believe to be the secret to my success. And again, I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying this. I thought long and hard before I came. I had a million things I could share. I've done over $500 million in my companies and my brands with coaching sales. I've sold millions of books on TV and online. I took all my strategies from TV. I ignored online like an idiot until a year ago. Most of you probably never even saw me online till a year ago, but now we're dominating, right? So I took these same strategies and they work in direct mail, they work on TV, they work on YouTube, they work on Facebook, they work on Instagram. So that's what I'm sharing. And one thing before I get to this part that I think is the framework for what's worked so well. The person you have to do a sales job on, and maybe this is a little personal growth mixed in, and I think that's the secret in my life, is the person you have to do the biggest sales job on is you. When you love what you offer to other people so much that you feel like you're doing them a disservice if you don't get their credit card, when you understand that and understand your mission, your passion, your desire, the person you have to sell the most every day is you. And if that's looking in the mirror and getting yourself in that moment of that enthusiastic, that authentic version of you, then do it. If you have to read your goals every day, do it. If you have to write down new goals once a week, do it. Because I don't know if you realize this, how we are is how the people around us are. If you're in this room, you're a leader. You're a leader in your community, you're a leader in your business, you're a leader online. How you react, how you come across is how you set the tone around you. And if you're having a bad day because you didn't sell yourself that day, and you doubt your own success, you doubt your ability to grow, you doubt your next level, even 5%, guess what? People smell it. You could smell lack of confidence. I can pick it out in someone in 2 minutes. I have people pitch me all the time. I could tell when someone's pitching me and they're desperate and they need me for money. And I could tell when someone's pitching me because of 1 + 1 = 10. I know the difference in 3 seconds, and so do you. So if you're not selling yourself every single day, then you're doing a disservice to the people around you, the people, your partners, your friends, your family. So know your mission, know where you want to go, and sell yourself on a non-stop basis. And the last thing I'll say before I get to this little section I want to do for you is we are at a phase in the world, I believe, and I have a little history of this, 20 years every day on TV and the internet, over $1 billion in sales. I'm reminding you of that because I want you to listen to this, is we're at a phase where people are sick of, for lack of a better word. People are sick of the magic money machine where you get rich in 5 minutes. People are sick with the pill that'll get you have a ripped stomach without doing the work. We are done with it. That phase came. I watched it come on TV 15 years ago. My team freaked out. Look what everybody's saying. I said, they'll be gone. If you guys watch my ads, do I always say it doesn't spit out money? It's not a magic money machine. You got to do the work. If you're going to buy this book and think to get rich, don't buy my book. The more authentic you are, the more real you are, the more raw you are, is what the world is craving. Everybody's sick of. So, you couldn't be sitting in those chairs, in my belief, at any better time in history. Because right now, the world, you know what they want? They just want you. Don't try to be Russell on camera. Don't try to be me on camera. Don't try to be anybody. Be the best version of you that you could be right now. And believe me, I look back at that video, I'm so embarrassed. But I'm embarrassed of my videos a year ago because I always want to grow. But guess what? A year ago, it still worked. That infomercial worked 20 years ago. And I think when I look back, that authenticity, that being real, being the best version of me, even if I don't have a vast vocabulary. I don't. I use a lot of amazing greats and goods and pretty much everything. But that's me. And I get to be the real me and get those results. Everybody getting this? All right. So now I want to take a little different direction, but go deeper on what Russell does so well. And that's the 3 steps: hook, story, and close. I think Russell says offer there. I've been teaching this for a long time, thinking through this for a long time. And again, everything Russell talks about in this was right and spot on. But I want to give you a little example so it really anchors in, because here's the thing. Everybody, most people are really good at this. I watch videos obsessively, just like Russell, just like so many of you, and I'll watch so many people be great with the story, talking about their passions, their desires. They're automatically overcoming obstacles for the end buyer in advance. They're response blocking in advance. They're building authenticity. They're building credibility. They're getting you to trust them. All the things that need to go in a story. You want to overcome their obstacles. You want to build trust. You want to show why you're the authority. All those things happen here. I'm not even going to go deep in here. You tell your story. You anchor them in. So most people are good with the story. And a story will get you a nice little 6-figure business. But it's not going to take you where you want to go without the hook and the close. I'm going to tell you a quick little story. So this is a long time ago. I was watching Larry King, probably 10 or 12 years ago, and he's interviewing Joel Osteen. And it gets to a certain point, and Larry looks at Joel, and it was like one of those moments on TV, and he said, Joel, I'm a Jew. I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe Jesus is the Son of God. Am I going to hell? And I was like, oh, that's like, oh my God. I was hiding. I wasn't in the audience. I was home, and I was hiding. And Joel, he's just a sweet guy. I've had the chance to hang out with him a few times. He's like, I'm not going to play God. I can't give you that answer. But here's the epiphany I had as an obsessive direct response marketer. All I thought about is, oh my God, what if there was a call to action right there? What if Larry King, in Joel's embarrassing moment, I'm thinking, what if Larry King looked into the camera and said, like Joel or not, you have the chance to get his book right here on the show. Call the number. That's all I could think about. That's all I swear to you, I didn't sleep for days. I geeked out. I bought the Larry King set. I bought the desk like Larry King. I bought the Larry King microphone for $5,000. And I put it all, I set it all up, and I hire a guy. Now my company was doing good. This is 2007, so this is 12 years ago, 2007. I hire a guy to interview me, and he says, give me the questions. What's the teleprompter? I said, you know what? Let's pretend this is a real interview. And what I want you to do is act like the market's crashing. I don't know anything about real estate. I'm just some late night huckster. And he's like, do you want me to do that? Anyway, we lived this experience, and that infomercial changed my life. I did the first direct-to-consumer infomercial for a book. It was for my book, Be a Real Estate Millionaire. That infomercial changed my life. That infomercial did $140 million in sales. And I sold 1 million copies of that book. And it all came from Larry and Joel. So I fast forward. I say that 2 years ago, Larry King, we meet through a mutual friend. He's at my office. I ask him if he could do an infomercial with me. He says yes. I'm ecstatic. We pull out the old set. We pull out the old microphone. And Larry King comes to my office, and I'm like a little kid. I was nervous to go on camera for the first time. He walks in, and he's like, he's an awesome guy, but he's just set in his ways. He walks over, and he looks at the set, and he's like, why would the microphone be there? It belongs here. And he moved it like 7 inches. And I felt like I was scolded because I had the microphone in the wrong spot. So anyway, long story short, Larry and I do an infomercial. And what I did is I totally obsessed on all his best interviews. I geeked out on his interview with Prince and Madonna and Gorbachev and presidents, and I watched his open. And Larry always started with tonight on Larry King. I'm here with, if you guys are a little older, you remember, it was Larry King interviewed all the best. So I'm sitting across from him, and I said, no, just let's have this great interview. And he says, tonight, I write his open. I write the hook. And I had to obsess on hooks on TV. You guys, in today's world, you get to market to your demographic. Infomercials, I'm casting a big, wide net. I'm just hoping somebody doesn't skip the commercial, they walk by the TV, and then they stop and listen to me. I don't know if it's a mom, a child, an adult. I don't know anything, right? So I had to be really obsessive on a hook to stop the channel. Anyway, long story short, Larry King does this open. I'm going to show you. Want to see it? Okay. Let's play that.
This is Larry King. Tonight, my guest is Dean Graziosi. He's a multiple New York Times best-selling author, success trainer, speaking to sold-out crowds around the world.
Who in here wants more love, more passion? Who wants more money? Okay, you can take that down. Okay, so now I do this show, and I'm in heaven. Larry King, this guy that changed my life. He didn't know it until I told him the story. He changes my life. I tell him the story. He's excited. He goes to interview me, and I write that open, just like I was Prince or Madonna or Reagan back in the day. And I totally screwed up. No one really gives a shit about me. I went against what I know. Is people buy from you, they learn from you, they adore you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. If you've never heard that, write that down right now. It will change your life. People learn from you, buy from you, trust you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. And what did I do? I went against everything I know and I made it about me. I'm a New York Times bestselling author. I've done this, I've done that. I'm amazing, I'm cool. No one cares. What's in it for them? So I'm obsessing on this infomercial. Why is it not working? It's Larry King. We're having this great conversation. The call to action is good. The interview is good. And I watch it and I tweak it and nothing. And then I watch it and it hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I messed up on the hook. I messed up on this. Listen, on infomercials, I used to think I had a minute or two to hook somebody. You don't have a minute or two anymore. You got a moment to see if people will take action. A moment in a sea of red shirts. How do you be the only black one that stands out? How does someone stop at your ad, look at your ad? We have to hook them to stop. So we have to ask a relevant question. So I obsessed on one thing, Larry King's opening sentence. Nothing else changed with the show. And I thought, what is relevant to a lot of people? And I came up with this. And it works, I would fit everybody in this room. The opening sentence was, in your adult life, have you ever looked in the mirror and thought to yourself, wow, I thought I'd be further ahead by now? That ever happened to anybody? Anybody in that room feel that? Let me show you the difference. Let's pull that screen up.
Tonight I want to ask you a very tough question. Have you ever in your adult life looked in the mirror and thought, you know, I really figured that my life would have turned out better? If so, you are not alone.
All right, you can take it off. You see the difference of those two? Thank you. One is about you. One's about your emotions, your fears, your thoughts, what's going on. Write this down too. We need to enter conversations already going on in the mind of our prospect. We get so excited about what we do. I got so excited to do an interview with Larry King. All I thought about was me. All I thought about was my success, my books. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about them. And I was living in my head. When I changed it and lived in their head, everything changed. I flew Larry back in. I begged him to please do the show over. Just the opening. We put the same shirt on, put the same clothes on, put him in the same set. We changed the first 3 sentences of the show. That show's running right now. It's over $40 million in sales. The hook. So I want you guys I hope I'm sharing something a little different or a little different look of what Russell did, but I want you guys to obsess on what comes out of your mouth immediately. Listen, there's hooks and grabbers. I've also done some cool stuff. If anybody saw me pulling a book out of my Tesla dashboard, I had a box where books just fell out, but mostly it's never that. I like to be a wordsmith. I'm always thinking, what is the biggest pain point of my prospect that they're facing right this second? And how can I get them to stop and go, yeah, I've looked in the mirror and thought to myself, wow. My first infomercial, not my first, the one I did after Larry King, the first sit-down infomercial, that's when the economy crashed, and it was when I think Obama put like $700 billion into the economy. It's what everybody was talking about. My opening line was, hey, I know Obama put $700 billion into the economy. How much of that landed in your bank account? That was the opening line. That show was a monster. So I just want to talk about, I'm not going to talk much about the story today. I want to obsess on the hook. Go back and look at some of your videos that you love and they didn't work, and I bet you'll find what I did. I've been doing this for 20 years and I still screwed it up. Are you stopping them in their tracks so they pay attention to you? There's a lot of noise out there. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter there's a lot of noise. You guys have an unfair advantage by being a funnel hacker. And that's a true story. You guys, listen, not only is Russell and Dave and the whole team, are they dear friends of mine, I'm a client. They've allowed us to grow faster, quicker, and easier. And unfortunately, about 5 IT people lost their job because of them, but oh well. All right, before I go to this next part, I really want you to think about the stamina. And I want you to think of the terms, and you should write this down. Do you have marketing stamina? Planes fly. When a plane crashes, you don't question the aerodynamics. You don't say, oh, planes just, it's metal. How could it get off the ground? You know that, can we all agree that planes fly? So if it crashes, you don't question the aerodynamics of the plane, do you? But when an ad doesn't work, you question if marketing works. Facebook is oversaturated, that doesn't work. No, it works for me every single day. It works for half of you in this audience. Just keep telling yourself, I need the stamina to continue because I have a great product. I love what I do, and I'm making this work. When you do that, then do whatever it takes. If you hit an obstacle, go through it. If you hit 40 more obstacles, go to 41 because you'll crack the code and your life will change forever. Marketing is the oxygen of your next level. All right, so now let me go to this. Story, I told you, this is where I would bet to say most of you are already good with the story. So I'm gonna jump forward and go right to the close. I know Russell goes deep on the structure of the close. I wanna talk about this little space that lives right here. Now, if you're doing an ad, it's shorter. But if you're doing a sales video, if you're doing a webinar, if you're doing an automated sales presentation, like if you go to get my book, that's when you go from a hook. You come out with a big hook and somebody says, ooh, I like that, I'm staying. And then you prove your value, you prove your worth. And this is the second part most people screw up, is going to the close. This is the part, did you ever watch anybody on stage who's up here on fire? They're sharing, they hooked you in, you know their credibility, they're telling their story, and you're like, yeah, I want to do what he does, or I want to do what she does, and you're all excited, and then they're going to present something to you, and they're like this, and then they go to sell, and they're like, and I got a couple slides, and if you want to get my stuff, you can. Their physiology changes, and they apologize for the sale, and they wonder why it didn't work. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna offer you something. You just wowed me, and now I'm not buying from you. You have no confidence in your own thing. Listen, a great example, one of my companies that I own with Brendan Bouchard is called Growth. We invited Tony Horton to come speak, P90X. He lit the audience up, and he asked us if he could sell. I said, sure, go ahead. We weren't really letting anybody else, but it was Tony. He's impacted so many lives. So he's up there, and he's on fire. The audience is loving him, and literally, I just had that presentation the day before about fall in love with selling. He literally is like, rah! And he's like, and I built this course, I put my whole life into it. And I hate to sell. I hate to sell. That's why, and we had 2,500 people in the room. He apologized for the sale, told people to go to the back. Out of 2,500 people, how many people do you think bought a $450 course that he obsessed over? Two. He had the whole audience. He went from the story, people start freaking out. I don't know about you guys. Who in here spoke on stage before? Okay, so many of you. Did you ever realize you have two voices going on? Like you're talking and then you're like, why is the guy in the third row over half asleep? Am I screwing this up? Like, bro, why are you talking to your buddy? Look at your text one more time. I'm coming out and getting you. Like, how do you do that? And I'm still talking and that conversation is going on. Well, that same conversation goes on for people when they're getting ready to sell. Talk about your life, your passion, your heart. And it's like, oh no, I have to go to my slides. And it's like, and so, and you could, you have to think about that. That's when everything goes to hell in a handbasket. What you have to do is take and carry that enthusiasm. Don't apologize. Listen, when Russell comes out and he's already offered some great stuff, whatever Russell offers, I hope he's standing on the edge here, getting you to be engaged because it's the only way he could change your life. And you're crazy if you don't get involved. And I'm being honest. I buy everything the guy comes up with. He buys everything I come up with too, so it's pretty cool. Mine are more expensive. What? Anyway. So I'm going to give you a little hack. Thanks. Thanks. I'm going to give you guys a little hack right now. You ready for this? Between the story and the close. build a bridge. And the bridge will be your crutch. Right here, have a bridge. And what do I mean by a bridge? Listen, there's probably people who have been doing this for years. I'm just sharing because I've never heard it. For me, when I get done with the story part and it's time to sell, I want my enthusiasm to go up. I want to step into it. I want you to know that I believe in what I do. I put my heart and soul into this. So I find a way to come up with a bridge that I know that's the trigger and the inside voice that goes, hell yes, it's time to freaking sell. Hell yes, it's time to impact lives. And when that voice is talking, I get people to run to the back of the room. I get people to buy on my webinar, on my live cast, on my videos. And the bridge is something like this. So you say you're sharing up to a certain point. One that I've used, I'm gonna share one. You'll see it if you're ever on one of my webinars or webcasts. I'll say, hey, listen, you've been with me for an hour. You've probably seen my books. Maybe you've read my book, watched me on Instagram. I'm betting by now you know my values. You know what I stand for. You know how I communicate. You know how I teach. And here's what I know. If you want another level of life, you're gonna need help. There's no way you're gonna get to the level you want on your own. I'd like to be that help. And that's why I'm so excited to offer you this. What I did is subtly just asked your permission to sell to you. Who's ready to buy something from me? Just be honest. All right. Save it for Russell, I'm not selling anything. But I want you to think about what's a bridge. Now, I've never used this one before, but it's an analogy you can keep in your head. If I was sharing with you and I gave you a whole bunch of value and I said, guys, I hate this, my time is almost up, I have 4 minutes left. I only had the time to share the tip of the iceberg with you, but I want more. I want to give you more. I want to help you more. Imagine what's below the surface. That's why I'm so excited. I created this course to give you everything I know. That's a bridge. All of a sudden, you have the enthusiasm, you have the excitement to go into your close with power. Does that make sense? All right, I had my team. I want to talk a little bit about marketing stamina. Keep that thought in mind when it's not working the way you want. And know that you could go deeper on the courses you're selling. We got to 100,000 books with Millionaire Success Habits. And it started to fatigue. And we were trying ads, and the team's like, hey, 100,000 books through Facebook mostly, pretty badass. Let's get to the next book. And when you read that book, you'll see why I want to put it in 1 million people's hands. I'm like, I'm not ready to give up on it yet. So we tried, marketing stamina. I pushed new ads obsessively. We got to 200,000. Team freaked out again. 300,000. Team tried to talk me into writing my next book. I really just didn't want to write the next book yet, but anyway, that's a whole different story. 400,000 copies. We're like, we made it to 400,000 copies. What are we gonna do next? I'm like, next is 500,000 copies. Last week we passed 500,000 copies. I know I said that, but here's the thing. We're having some of our best weeks. We're 2 years with the same book. 2 years with the same book. 500,000 copies. Last week, 4,165 books. Last week. 2 years in with the same campaign. Does that give you a little different framework to think about? Okay, so I had my team put together a little compilation of just some of the hundreds of videos I've shot. Marketing stamina at its best. Let's see, let's get to it. Yeah, and you'll see, I even put hook, story, close. Watch these, really think about it, and then obsess on it, and it's your turn. Go ahead. So let me ask you, are you prepared for when the market crashes? I'm about to freeze myself at 285 degrees below zero. No kidding. Watch this. Come here a second. You gotta look at this. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Did you ever wish you could turn your dreams into a reality? I've identified 36 habits that made me a millionaire in my 20s. All right, the common sense of an 11-year-old. Okay, this is the S&P 500. What's up, what's up? Just got done running the mountain up here in Idaho at 6,000 feet. I'm on this amazing street. So why is this book, Millionaire Success Habits, one of the breakout best-selling books of the year? Wait. Do you not have Millionaire Success Habits in your hand yet? Winter is coming, but the big question is, are you prepared? Wow, take a look at this.
Millionaire Success Habits, my latest book, just passed 400,000.
The law of attraction. Is it really the secret to success? What if I promised you could be a millionaire in less than a month? You could drive cars like this, live in the house of your dreams. Guess what? I'd be a liar.
So now that I got your attention, let me ask you this. Are you living the life of your dreams? I don't know where you are in your life right now or where it is that you want to go, but I remember living in this house behind me. In fact, I lived in the bathroom with my dad for a while when we had nothing. I didn't even have lunch money. Listen, I was horrible in school. I didn't go to college, and my guidance counselor said, you can either go to college or you can go work at a gas station or a factory. I didn't go to college. My friends told me I was nuts. My family told me I was an idiot. I had no college education. I barely got out of high school. I did drive a tow truck when I was a kid. I did work as a mechanic, and I did have envy for other people, but I discovered the habits that have allowed me to go on and generate hundreds of millions of dollars in my life, and it has everything to do with your habits. Hey, I'm Dean Graziosi.
I'm Dean Graziosi.
I'm Dean Graziosi. Hey, I'm Dean Graziosi. I'm Dean Graziosi.
My name is Dean Graziosi. I'm a multiple New York Times best-selling author.
Yes, I'm a multiple New York Times best-selling author.
My brands and my companies have generated hundreds of millions of dollars in my life. Now, am I saying you're going to be a millionaire, generate hundreds of millions of dollars? Heck no. But guess what?
Without the right habits, without the right values, without the right rules, business just doesn't work. You need the habits for success. You need the foundation for wealth and sustainable wealth, not just overnight. And that's why my newest book, Millionaire Success Habits, is on fire. It is on fire. You see all the 5-star reviews on Amazon. It's been #1 in 4 categories. And I want to let you know that right now you can get my hottest book ever, Millionaire Success Habits, for free by clicking the link on this page right now.
So click the link on this page right now.
Click the link on this page right now. Click the link on this page. I'll
Click the link on this page, grab the book. You will not
click the link, grab this hardcover book. Click the link
right now.
Hurry before they're gone.
Thank you. Listen, I shared that at the end not to be like, oh, look how great I am. I shared it to inspire you that 90% of all of them shot, I don't have it on me, were shot on my phone. 90% of the one ad on the stream, I was masterminding with Russell. I ran the mountain, I came down, and I filmed it. I had Randy Garr and a buddy of mine film me while I was sweaty. I looked terrible. Right now, that's our best converting ad. It's 9 million views on YouTube alone. It's a monster. I shot it when I was sweaty. I stuttered on some words. I watched it. I'm like, oh, why couldn't you have a bigger vocabulary? I shot the one with my house where I was in front of my house when I was a kid. I was with my girlfriend. We were in upstate New York. I said, give me my phone. I shot that. That's our second biggest ad. What I'm saying is it's time to be real. It's time to be raw. It's time to do it. And I'm going to tell you, step up your marketing stamina. Stop overthinking it. Follow this mechanism. This is literally the strategy that got me on this stage to be at the place I'm at in my life. Stop overthinking it. Shoot some videos today. Get your message out there. The world needs you. We are in, right now, the information age. $365 million a day is spent online just for information. That's the 4 of you that are in products. We know what that is. This is your time to shine. Stop being afraid, take it to a next level, have more marketing stamina, and go kick. Thank you, guys. Thank you.